Lust is something that a lot of people talk about on the internet. And a lot of people's testimonies, the word lust means something that is greater than the ordinary thing. Lust is something that can really separate you from God. Lust is something as a Christian that it's not the ideal, it's one of the most ideal sinful natures that a man or a woman can have. Because these urges and things we get, these feelings we get, these little attachments per se that we get, these things come and go, right? Because in the moment you feel this certain way about maybe someone, maybe an idea, maybe something you've seen on the internet, maybe something you've seen while you were scrolling. And one problem I had with lust and how I've really learned to be better with it, and you can do this as well, is adapting to the fact that lust isn't of God, but love is of God. What do I mean by that? The difference between love and lust. Lust is something that physically you are desiring to feel. That is a pleasure, right? There are spiritual pleasures and then there is physical pleasures. Spiritual pleasures come from God. Physical pleasures come from this world, come from Satan, and come from your own sexual desires. We understand the difference between what God wants for our life and what Satan wants for our life and what we want for ourselves, right? Ultimately what Satan wants and somewhat of what we want sort of mix. That may sound crazy regardless of if we are fully in the spirit or not, but a lot of times we go for the things that Satan ultimately wants. And what's the problem with that? Because we know Satan's road leads to a path of destruction. We understand the straight and narrow path, without light, there is darkness. Without without God's guidance, we won't have any, establishment to go in that direction. What am I trying to say in this video? Lust is holding you back. Every single time you see a cute girl, every single time you see a cute person, all you can think about is that sexual desire. All you can think about is your lustful feeling. And what is the problem with that? It is cool to find a person attractive. It is well and amazing to find this girl so beautiful, so pretty, right? But how is her personality, right? Does she love God before anyone else? Does she actually desire to learn more about Christ? Does she desire to chase after God's own heart, right? Does she seek God for understanding? Most importantly, does she study and does she love God more than everyone else? And I said that twice because that is so key to overcoming lust. Realizing that lust is so small. Physical desires are so small when God's desires for our life are essential and extended into a long period, right? Think about this. I'm lusting over a girl, right? I'm staring at what, right? And I'm lusting over that. And okay, sure, like you lusting over it, And I'm gonna keep it real with y'all on this channel, right? You've done it before, I've done it before. You see it, you're like, oh, okay, like that's what we working with. But then you realize, like, dang, like I'm really looking at her as if she's not God's child. I'm really looking at her as if she's an object. Or if you're a girl, you're really looking at him as if he's just a pretty face or something. You're really just looking at him as if he's just a tool. Not realizing that God made all of us in his image. So if he made man in his own image, if Jesus was literally the split image of man in heaven, right? Man in heaven. Realizing that, this should also cultivate within us to treat others as we treat ourselves. If we look at ourselves in a lustful manner, then we're going to look at other people in a lustful manner, right? Because your outlook on life is very predicated on the way that you look at yourself. How do you treat yourself, right? Do you go and scroll at night and instead of going to bed and reading your word? Do you scroll at night? Do you go on the corn, right? That's what everybody on the internet call it. Do you go on the hub and you doing stupidness, right? You're doing things that make no sense. You're doing it for a short period of time just to get a little feeling that comes and goes. Not realizing after the fact, you ask yourself, why did I even do that? I'm telling y'all, why did you even do it? It is a terrible feeling. Why did you even do it? You wasted time and you wasted your energy and what God gave you on a screen. On a screen. Just from your own lustful desires. And the big problem is we understand that adultery, lust, these things are talked about in the Bible as these sinful things that separate us from God. That's like when the people created idols because they didn't believe in Jesus. So they're going to create idols. They didn't believe in God. So they create idols to worship them like those idols did anything for them. God allowed them to do it. God was like, okay, go ahead, do it, and let's see what happens. Watch what happens. I'm going to fall away from you. I'm going to fall away from you. I'll still be there for you. I'll still love you, but I'm going to fall away from you because you love them more than you love me. Ultimately, that's what lust comes down to. You respecting yourself and you loving God and you loving who you are and yourself above everybody else. Because when lust takes over, ultimately you are putting somebody else on a pedestal. You are putting your thoughts about someone or something on a pedestal in your brain and in your life. And that's how you get pulled off of your purpose. Lust is the quickest way to lose focus on your purpose. Lust is a straight killer. Lust is what is ultimately killing your life. It is destroying your motivation, your humbleness. It is destroying your ability to gain wisdom and understanding. It is destroying your knowledge. It is destroying your body too. It's breaking your mind and then it ends up breaking your body. Notice, some people, right, when they do it, and I heard about this, when they jack, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I heard about some people who jack, who the next day they go to the weight room and they can't even lift as much as they were a couple days ago. Because how can you expect to build and lift and have muscles if you can't control yourself and have discipline? I've been there before. You have to have discipline. Defeating lust ultimately comes down to a change of heart, understanding, also in being disciplined. Being disciplined in your work, in your focus, and in your journey. Because if you have goals, you have no time. If you love God and you follow God and you desire and to get to your goals, you have no time to mess around and do stupid stuff. Because ultimately, I choose not to waste my time and do stupid stuff like that anymore. I'm not saying I don't fall to lust, but ultimately I don't get around those type of things anymore. I don't look, my eyes are fixated on what matters. And that is God at the end of the day. But I hope this video helped you just getting closer to battling lust, to defeating lust. And ultimately the biggest thing that I want to present to you all is attacking your purpose, right? Because your purpose is what ultimately is going to keep you on that straight and narrow. But your purpose has to be God goal driven. Your purpose has to be from God. It can't be out of your own wants and needs. Just saying. Thank you for watching. As always, God bless every single one of you.